Big day today as oral arguments are just now getting underway as a landmark legal battle over immigration takes center stage at the beautiful United States Supreme Court. Look at it on this gorgeous spring day. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Today's lawsuit, a constitutional test of presidential power. 26 states led by Texas challenging the president's executive orders on immigration. So far, lower courts have agreed with the states blocking the president's actions.
President Obama's programs would shield about 4 million illegal immigrants from deportation. They apply to parents whose children are U.S. citizens or living here legally. The states argue that the president does not have the power to change immigration laws enacted by Congress. The president says he's acting within the law when he announced this plan.
If you meet the criteria, you can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half-century.
Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst. Judge, welcome. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
So all of this hinges on the issue of prosecutorial discretion, right? The president says that he and the Justice Department under him have the right to basically waive someone's a law that may perhaps have been broken, right?
It's a weak argument that the president has lost twice, and the reason it's a weak argument is because prosecutorial discretion, the right of the prosecutor, here the chief law enforcement officer, not to enforce a particular law, like you're here illegally, you should be deported, applies to individual cases. It doesn't apply to groups. The president wants to apply it to 4 to 5 million people right off the bat without examining each one individually. And for that reason, he's lost that argument below. But he is making it again today before an 8-member U.S. Supreme Court.
Right. So how significant is that fact? Because this has been shot down at 2 courts, in Texas and also in Louisiana, right?
Well, Justice Scalia really tipped his hand as to how he feels about this, because when the case was first appealed to the Supreme Court, Justice Scalia asked the government and the lawyers for the states to brief another issue that wasn't even argued below. And that issue was, did the president violate his oath? Because he took an oath faithfully to uphold the laws. Faithfully meaning you got to enforce the laws whether you agree with them or not. Right. So Justice Scalia individually injected another issue into this. That issue will be argued this morning, but of course he won't be there. How significant is his absence? Well, it probably will be a 4-4 vote. In this case, a tie will reinforce the decision below, and the decision below enjoins, prevents the president from carrying out his program. Martha, the last time the federal courts prevented a president from doing what he wanted to do by executive order was 1952, when Harry Truman wanted to seize steel mills because they weren't making steel fast enough because of a work stoppage, and the government needed steel during the Korean War. Stated differently, it is a very rare occurrence for federal courts to stop the president from doing what he wants to do, but that's the likely outcome here.
You know, I mean, the argument here is 2 things. As you point out, it's this prosecutorial discretion idea, which is that the prosecutor can say, we choose not to press charges, right? And they're arguing that they're talking about 4 million or 5 million individuals, that these are the individual cases and they just happen to be grouped together because they're all under the same principle. But the other side of it is that they're being compassionate.
Yes.
That this is something that is compassionate. How much does that carry with the members of this court, Julie?
Okay, the president's argument is these are parents of children who were born here, therefore they're American citizens, their parents are illegal aliens or are otherwise lawful here. And if he deports them, he will have to deport Americans, which is against the law, or he'll have to break up families, which is bad for children. And therefore there's a defect in the law that Congress has refused to correct. He's going to correct it. I don't think the compassion argument will work before the Supreme Court, because he took an oath to uphold the law as Congress has written them, whether he likes the law or not. That was the issue that Justice Scalia asked the government to rebrief, and they did. And I don't think they're going to be successful.
Yeah, everybody's watching this. Judge, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Deal.